Hi guys, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, let me share the screen. Okay, able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so let us connect to the server. Let us connect to the server. Check. Okay. So in the last class, we have discussed about the how to install the Jenkins and how to log into the Jenkins and what is meant by Jenkins. Jenkins, we are going to call it as a build automation tool. So each individual developer they can build their code in their local machine. Suppose this is developer one machine. So the developer one, what they can do? So they can build the code in their local machine and they will push the code to the central repository like source code management tools like a thing. But building step will happen in the developer machine only. The code will be reside in the source code management, but the build, how to build the code, what type of a build tools we are using it to build the code, it depends upon the developer machine only. Each individual developer, they can build their code, own code they can, so they can take the code of others into their local machine and they will build the code. So developer one, developer two, developer three, they will do individually. But we should not have like that. So what should we having? We should have something like a centralized one. So everybody should see the status of our build. What is happening with our code? What is happening with our build? So in that cases, we are going with build automation tool. Okay, so this build automation tool is Jenkins. Lot of alternative tools are available in the market. So one of the famous tool and most of the companies using Jenkins. So this is a centralized tool, so which help us to developers are committing the code, like multiple developers are committing to the code. The code will be reside in the source code management, like a Git, Bitbucket. So these are like a GitLab. So we're using these different tools. So what we can do, so we can take the code and we can build the code. So second step in CI/CD process. So we are going to take, first step is we are going to work on the code. So next step is we are going to work on the code. Next is build and scan. Already we've seen about the how to work with source code management, how the developers will push the code to the central management by using the tools, commands, all these things we have seen it. So next step is we are going to build and scan the code. So how to build the code and how to scan the code. So that also depends upon the project. So what type of project you are going to handle it. So that depends upon your project. So the developers are from different programming languages. What are the programming language they are using it? It doesn't matter. As a DevOps engineer, whatever the code we have given for us, so we need to build the code. Already the developers are building the code in their local machine. Same code what we need to do. So we need to build the code centrally so that everybody can see the build status of our build through centralized repository tool, centralized tool, Jenkins. Okay, so once the code is ready. Okay, so the code has been developed in any programming language. So it may be they have written the code in the Java, PHP, Python, .NET, any type of programming language they have written, Node.js, AngularJS. Okay, so these are like a different type of languages we can see in the real-time scenarios. For each thing, there will be a separate development team will be there. So for Java project, if you are handling it, there is a separate Java development team will be available. So if you're working on the PHP, our project is PHP related project. So PHP development team will be there. So Python development team, .NET development team will be there. So as a DevOps engineer, so whatever the programming language they have given for us, so we need to build the code. Okay, so this building the code, what build tool they are using it, what are the build steps we are using it. So that information, everything will be provided by the development team. So already this development team is already using their local machine. So when it comes to the build steps, we should know what is your build tool and what are the build steps. For any project, you take any kind of a project, you are taking the real-time scenario. So we should know what is your build tool and what are the build steps involved in it to build your code. Okay, so next thing we'll see about the scanning the code, how to scan the code, to find the vulnerabilities, to find the entire things, so rules, regulations, everything we can see in the scanning part. So when it comes to the project building, so this project building also they will do in their local machine, developer will do. Every developer will do in their local, but we should not have a centralized one. So the centralized implementation will be done by the DevOps engineer. Okay, so for example, now I'm going to take one of the sample projects called Java. Most of the cases, it will be like 90% of the projects are real-time scenarios are Java only. 10% are in the Python, .NET. Okay, so Java is main. Most of the cases they will go with. In the Java, there also have a different kind of a projects are there. Somebody will tell Spring Boot project. Somebody will tell that microservice architectures. So whichever it may be, if it is a Java programming language, so the main thing, very important thing is, so what is your build tool? What are the build steps that we should remember? So if you go for .NET PHP also, what is your build tool is available? What are the build steps? It may be anything. They are using simple Java projects, microservice architecture, Spring Boot applications, Hibernate projects, Spring projects, anything you take it. If it is a Java project means the development language, we should not know it. No need to write a single line of a code. So if they're writing 100 lines of code, 1000 lines of code, we're not bothering it. So already this Java code will be pushed to the central repository. Already the code is residing in the central repository. From the central repository, we need to take that code. So we need to know what is the build tool which they are using for this particular programming language and what are the build steps. Okay, so when it comes to the build tool, even if we don't know about the build tool and build steps, we can contact the development team. So for every project, there will be a development team. Without development team, we can't implement these DevOps activities. Okay, so we are going to interact with multiple teams. So one of the team is a development team. So what is your build tool? What are the build steps you are implementing? So what is the package you are generating it? So this type of questions we can ask to the development team as you are not aware of this particular programming language. Okay, so when it comes to the Java, mainly we have the build tools like Ant, Maven, and Gradle. Okay, so these are the build tools generally used for the Java-based projects. Ant, Maven-based one, and Gradle. Okay, so build steps will vary based upon your build tool. Suppose if you are using Ant as a build tool. Okay, so our project is Ant-based one. Build step is vary. So if you are using Maven, the build steps will vary. If you are using Gradle, build steps will vary. Okay, so like that it will be the scenario. Okay, so these are the steps we need to consider. Same thing if you are using for the PHP project. So the code is ready. Now we need to make centralized one. So everybody should have a project status, what type of project it is, PHP means. So we need to contact the development team, which files is very important, which files you are modifying regularly. So if any error occurs, which file we need to refer it, and what is the build tool, and what are the build steps for it. So is any requirements.txt file is there, any compiler, any specific version you are looking for it. So every information we should get it from the development team so that then only we can build any type of a project. So we can't guarantee the real-time scenario. So any type of a project you may get chance to work on it. So any project if you know, so we should know the information about the what is our build tool and what are the build steps to build your project. So if you do this concept, almost 70% of the work is done for our project. Integration, how to build the code and how to build steps. Okay, so main build tool, which build tool they are using it. So how to build the code. So once you build it, finally they are going to give a package for us. So this package is very important. So this package is the final output of a package of your project. For example, if you are taking Java, so generally the extensions will be var formats. Okay, so they may go with any kind of a format. So if you want to copy any jar file, so what they will do, so they have some important files are there. So they will define the packaging, which type of packaging they want for the Java project. So they will define the packaging. So one of the important file for the Java based project is, so how they are developing and how they are writing is doesn't matter. So one of the important file is pom.xml. So the pom.xml stands for project object model. So this is very important question. So in the real-time scenario, what type of project you worked means. So if you tell that I have worked with the Java-based project means, so what is the use of pom.xml? They will definitely ask it. So pom.xml is nothing but project object model and all the dependencies related to the project, artifact details and packaging details, project details, every information related to the project will be available from the pom.xml. So if any dependency is missing, so we should always refer for this pom.xml. Okay, so the pom.xml is the XML format. So they have follow certain hierarchy. So they will define the entire hierarchy. They will maintain the structure of the project. So they will define in the pom.xml. Okay, so this is very important file. So what is your output of your package? What is the name of your packaging? They are going to define it. So they are going to define everything from the pom.xml. Okay, so don't feel that I don't know anything about Java. I don't know anything Java. No need to worry about the Java. You are not going to write any Java programming language here. Just we should know the simple commands and simple naming conventions. We need to remember it. Okay, so this pom.xml is very important for any Java project. So this will be available at the root folder whenever the project is created. So they will define the pom.xml. In that pom.xml only, what is your package name? What is the output of the package you are looking for? So what exactly the name they are defining it? All the things they will define in the pom.xml. Okay. So generally for this Java-based project, so these things we need to consider. Okay. So for Ant, the build steps will vary. Maven, the build steps will vary. Gradle, if you are using the build tool as a Gradle, so the build steps will vary. Same thing, the packaging and the main important file is the pom.xml. So this is information for Java. Same thing, if you know about a little bit, you worked on the Java-based project, but in the real-time scenario, you got another project, .NET project. So immediately we need to connect to the development team. So what is your build tool? Can you show me how the build is happening in your local machine? Same thing I need to implement in the Jenkins side. Okay, so they will share the steps whether the particular software should be installed in the where we are running our code. Okay, so these things we should remember. Same thing, instead of Java, we should replace with PHP. The build tools information will vary and build steps will vary. Packaging or important files, everything that will be taken by the development team. Okay. So in the real-time scenario, you may get a chance to work in any one of the programming language. So if you get a Java, it is very easy. When it comes to the other projects, we need to connect with the development team. Okay. So before asking the development team, we should have a proper basic knowledge on the particular programming language. Like what is a PHP? Okay, it is an open source one. Like what exactly it deals with. .NET, how many tools, subtools are available. Okay. Same thing like ASP.NET, like that. Okay. Some basic information we should know whenever we are working on any programming language. Okay. So when it comes to the Java here, so the Java development table, they will keep on writing the code and they will push the code to the centralized repository. So in our case, our centralized repository is okay. So this is one of the sample Java project. Okay, same project if you want to take it. So just go to your project code. I want to take the same kind of a project. I want to test in my local machine. So there is an option called fork option is there. So you go to once you log into your GitHub account, so click on the fork option. It will ask for the username, like which account you want to take the replica of the same kind of a code. So just enter this URL. Okay, so don't modify anything in the code, just fork it. So if you fork it, what are the code that is available in my account, you can easily copy into your account with the same naming conventions. Okay, so just log into your account. So just click on the fork option. So fork option will be available. Just click on the fork option. It will ask for the URL. So just enter the URL which is provided in the chat box. So you can copy the entire code here. Okay. So then automatically you can also start working on your sample project. Okay. So this is one of the sample Java project. So they will create some files, settings.xml, pom.xml, jar, Jenkins file, Docker file, target, source, main, like that. So already you people know how the people will create the files, how to update the files. So every project is consists of files and folders. The files may be in kind of any kind of extension. But if you take any project, okay, so it's a combination of files and folders only. Subfolders, inside the folders, again, it may contain folders with different type of extension. Like if it is a Java means .java, it is a PHP means .php, JavaScript means .js. Okay, so like that, if you take any kind of a project, it's a combination of files and folders. So in order to discuss any one of the Java project, so already in my code repo, I have one sample Java project is there. So if you refer, the main important file is pom.xml. So if you open this pom.xml, so this was defined by the development team. Okay, so Java developers will take care of this pom.xml. So any issue, anything during the build steps, if any dependency is missing, so what we need to come? So we need to come to the pom.xml and we'll check for that particular name. And immediately we can share that log or error with the development team. So this is the dependency it is looking for. So the version is got deprecated. For example, they are using old version. So what the particular dependency, what they will do, they will deprecate it. Means the version is become older, no longer in use. So they will recommend that. So the version got deprecated, you have to use latest version. So immediately we need to contact the development team, the person who is written the code. So just we need to paste the screenshot with him. So he will fix the issue. Again, he will push the code and again, we can build the code. Okay. So building the code, we can do a number of times. We don't have any limitations here. So how many times you want to build the code, we can build the code. So what is the main intention of here is, so we will configure in everything. DevOps engineer will configure everything. So then we will give the access to the development team. So next time onwards, when they push the code, they will can run the job directly. So no need to worry about the DevOps engineer only to trigger the job. Okay, only the configurations, errors, issues, only first time only we will do the configurations. So next time onwards, if any issue comes, we will look into the job. Otherwise, the development team will take care of the builds. They don't know what are the logic we have written inside it. So just they will come here and they will trigger the jobs. Until the issue comes, they will not reach us. Okay, they can trigger the job into the multiple environments. Only the configurations and first time testing only the DevOps engineer will be taking care of the entire job. Okay, so this is one of the sample project. So in this project, the main important file is form.xml. Here they have they will maintain some group IDs, artifact IDs, versions, names, packaging. So this packaging is very important. So what is this packaging is? So what type of extension you want to, once you build, if the project is built successfully, the code is built successfully, what packaging we are generating it. So that we are going to use here. So here we are telling where. Okay. So what is the name of the final output of your packaging? So that can be done via artifact ID-version. Okay, what is the artifact we are using? Example -version -0.001.snapshot.var. So this is the panel packaging. So entire each and every line of the code, each and every file, it will build it, and finally entire code of the thing we can generate into a package. So these packages, if you are deploying into something like Tomcat, JBoss. Okay, so these are the application servers. So if you install Tomcat setup and if you install this var into particular folder is available in the Tomcat structure. So if we start the Tomcat server, our application got deployed. Okay, so this is the way generally we will build the code, deploy the code. Okay. Okay. So finally, if you want to deploy the code, what are the code which is written by the Java development team? So directly we will not deploy the entire code. Each and every line we will not deploy it. So we are going to packaging the code. Entire code. Once the build steps are built, everything gone, then only it will able to package the code. So this packaging the code only we are deploying the package. That is into Tomcat or JBoss. Even the project explanation, how we are going to which what type of project you have handled means Java project, we are able to use this build tool. We are deploying our code into the particular app server, that is Tomcat, like that. So if you tell this is a scenario for entire project build and deployment. Okay, same thing we have other projects also. Okay, so coming to this, just to click on new item. Take freestyle project only. Click on OK. Here we have source code management. Just select the Git. What is the project URL is there? Copy the code. Paste it. Okay. So next. Okay. So before applying this, so individual developer, how they are doing in the local machine. So if this is a so already it is there. Okay. So next Java. Java is also there in my machine. So what I'm doing is just git clone. So individual developer, what they will do? So they will clone the project in their local machine first. So before committing to the final code. So how we developed these two sample projects? Same thing, we have one more folder. Okay, it is also contains same. Okay, so there are three build tools are available. So one is Ant, Maven, and Gradle. So currently we are taking the Maven. So if you see here in the pom.xml, they will tell the developer team. Okay, so this is a Maven based project. If they tell that that is a Maven based project, it is a Ant based project or Gradle based project. So we need to follow those build steps only. For example, if it is a Maven means, so in the interview question, definitely they will ask about the Maven lifecycle. So Maven lifecycle is compile, test, clean, package, deploy. So these are the different types of Maven lifecycle steps. Pom.xml. So wherever the pom.xml, if it is a Maven based project, so how can we build it? So we can build it by using these steps. If you want to clean the project, if somebody has done any project, so first of all, we will check whether the Maven is installed or not. So if it is Maven is not installed, just we will install Maven. So we have Maven, we have Java, Git, all are there. So wherever our project code, wherever the pom.xml is there, so if it is a Maven based project, so we can apply the commands. If you want to clean the project, just ambient clean. Just we need to apply the ambient option, Maven. So you can see the build got success. So what are the code they have written it? So we are going to clean the entire thing. So if you want to have any test cases, if you want to run any test cases, so we will go with ambient test. So more than one, if you want to write it, we can also write the more than one lifecycle rule. Okay, so these are the test cases result. Currently, we don't have any test cases. So if we have any test cases, any failures or any errors happen, so we have to give the information to the development team. Same thing we have, if you want to write all the steps at a single place also, we can write it. Clean, install, compile, and package. So this package step is very important. So this package is only the thing. So whole code will be converted into the single package. So what type of extension you want for this package? So that was defined in the pom.xml. So we can use all the thing, all the steps at single command. So this is individual machine, developer machine. So once they will check out the code, so finally you can see. So this is the final output of the package. So this package, if you keep into the Tomcat servers or JBoss server, so our application will be deployed. You can access the application from the browser. Okay, any web-based applications, if they're developed in the Java-based project, so they will convert into package, and this package they will deploy into the any one of the servers, Tomcats, JBoss. Okay, so this is related to Java. But if you go for other programming language, they have other tools. Okay, so like this. Now we are able to build successful in the development mission. Same thing what we need to do. So we need to come here. We need to implement the same thing here. So just to go to the build steps. In our top level Maven targets are there. So just here goal place. No need to append the Maven here. Already it's a Maven plugin only. No need to install everything. Directly we have taken the code. This code already Git is installed in the Jenkins. So what we will do, just clean install, compile and package. This is only the build step for Java. Just click on the build. So if you take the first build, check on the console output. Okay, so the ultimate goal of DevOps engineer is to make the build success. So this is like a centralized tool, like a build automation tool. Everybody can see that whether the build is success or not. So this one only the individual developer machine is available. His machine only we can see the output is whether he is built locally or not. But this is centralized tool. So by using the plugins, we are able to integrate the code. So we need to perform the build steps. What are the build we want to make it out for which kind of a project? So we need to follow that thing. Okay, so we have taken one sample Java project. We are able to build with the build steps. So what is your Maven build tool? They are asking. So what is your build tool and which type of project you have built and what are the build steps? If you are using as a Maven means, immediately they will ask the questions about the Maven lifecycle. Okay, so what individually it will do? Clean, compile, test, packaging. So deploy part, we will see how to deploy your Warehouse software, pushing the code from one server to another server. In that case, we will use the deploy. Okay, so this is the way we can handle the Java-based projects. Okay, so we have other build tools are also available like Ant and Gradle. So if you want to go with Ant also, so first we'll test in a local machine. So same thing, we have Ant-based projects also there. What we can do, so there is a sample code for Ant also. So if you take, so this is one of the Ant project. Okay, so same thing what we will do, first we will take the code in your local machine. Same thing, git clone. So there are different kind of a projects in the Java, but build tool is different. So one of the builder tool is Ant, and this is an old one. Nobody uses it currently. But in case of if you are going to support for the project, so the project is continuous from past 10 years, 15 years, but still they are going to support for the person who required one person to support that project. In that cases, we should have information how to build the Ant projects. Okay, so without knowing the Ant information, we can't build anything. So one of the build tool for Java is Ant. This is an old one. They have started with Ant. So they have moved to the Maven and Gradle. So most of the companies now following the Maven and Gradle, nobody is using AND. But even if you are having a chance to get for the older projects, support projects, they are developed in the AND, they have still not upgraded. So in that cases, we should know how to build the AND projects also. Okay, so if you see the structure of the AND, there is important file called build.xml. So if we go for the AND projects, so what are the code they have written it? What are the structure they are maintaining it? So for the Maven projects, what is the important file? Pom.xml. For same thing, if you go with AND based projects, so one of the important file is build.xml. So just we'll check our AND is there or not. AND is not there. If you are writing any AND commands, so it will, the system will not understand it. So just what we will do, so just we will install AND. Install AND. Now, before doing any work, so first of all, we'll check the AND version. Okay, so Apache AND version is 1.9.16. So wherever the builder.xml is there, it may be in some other folder, but we should be always wherever the build.xml is there. So just we will and -f that build.xml will write it. So we'll go to the AND project. This is one of the sample AND project. So whatever the code that we has written by the development team doesn't matter. So if it is an AND-based project, how to build this AND-based project? So we should know it. So when it comes to the AND-based project, the one of the important file is build.xml. So just before writing it, just we check the whether AND is installed or not. So if it is not installed, where we are running in that server, that AND should be there. So next thing is just AND, just run the wherever the build.xml is there, just will perform the build.xml. Okay, so like that will be successful. Okay, so just this one. Same thing we need to implement in our centralized one. So this is individual developer machine. So what we can do, so we can come here, and if it is AND-based project, so we should know which type of tool they are using it. So for Java-based project, the build tool is AND the tool. So we should next time immediately we should know what are the build steps for AND and what is the important file. So just we'll take the new item and project build. Click on OK. Okay. So in case of AND-based project, just we'll take this is my source code. Just to go to the source code management, in place of Maven-based project, we will take AND sample. So same immediately we'll go to the build steps. Here we have. Previously we have gone to the Maven-based project. Now we are going with NevoCAD. Okay. So in the advanced, it is referring the build file. Where is your build file is there? Okay. So just we'll type. Okay. So build file where it is looks like. So if you don't know the information, no need to append the AND. In a local machine only, we will append this whole command. Okay. So build step, where is your main file? We need to build it. So we are telling that wherever the project code is there. So refer the build.xml. In the source code management at the root path only, we need to check for the build.xml. Okay. So under the build file, we are referring the build.xml. Just apply it and save it. Build it. Okay. So how we are able to build in the local machine? Same thing also we can able to build in there. Okay. So compiling the classes and making the jar. So this is the jar file that generated. Okay. So ultimate goal of the DevOps engineer is like, so we need to make as a centralized one, and we should make the build a success. So if you don't know about the AND the project, what is exactly the AND? If somebody is talking the real-time scenario, can you build it for Java AND project? AND is new for us. So what we can do, first you can test in a local, same thing we can implement in your, take any sample AND project. And what is the main important file here we need to remember is, so build.xml. So this file reference, we need to give under the, go to the build steps, and we need to give this property name. Okay, go to the advanced, same thing. Okay, so this is the way we can build the AND project. Any project you take it, our ultimate goal is to, what is your build tool, what are the build steps. Okay, what type of packaging they are expecting. So here for Maven Braze, we have the wire. Now for the AND projects, they have generated the output as a jar file. Okay, same thing, we have one more thing, Gradle. Okay, so how we can implement the Gradle? So if you want to Gradle one, so for Gradle, we don't have the Gradle version in my system. They will tell that Gradle. Gradle means if somebody is talking about the Gradle means, so immediately we should know that, okay, Gradle comes under the Java build tool. One of the build tool of the Java is Gradle. So next step is, we need to know the how to build your project. If it is a Java based Gradle build tool. Java, the project is Java only, but the build tool they are using as a Gradle. So same thing, if you want to refer for the Gradle project, same thing, you can go to my projects. So there is one more project called Gradle. So just you need to fork it. Okay, so click on the thing, take the copy of this code. Fork it. Okay. And okay. So this Gradle will becomes under something like, you can see Gradle wrapper, Gradle brand, Gradle. Okay. So this is the project structure of the Gradle. So they have some configurations if they're handling the Gradle, so they can see the Gradle information. They will tell that. So we need to ask it if the development team is not telling. We need to have the basic questions like, what kind of a project it is, what is your build tool. Okay, so if you have the information, can you share the build steps also with us? So the development team will share the information about what type of project it is, what is your build tool, and what are the build steps. Same thing we need to make as a centralized. So the DevOps engineer responsibility is to make as a centralized one. So everybody should see the information of the project. In case of your absence also, what they can do, even the team lead, manager, any developer person also, they can trigger the job. So they want to deploy the same kind of a code into dev, SAT, UAT. So what they can do, so they will not perform any manual steps directly through Jenkins jobs. So we can deploy the code into the various environments. Already we have configured everything. So now somebody want to trigger the same add project. What they will do? They will not do any modifications. They will do the modifications in the code wise. Okay, already we have configured the code. So today they have moved some changes. Tomorrow they have moved some more changes. Day after tomorrow they will move some more changes. The changes will be always available in the code side, not in the job side. Okay, so always we are referring the latest code. If anything we need to modify it, so we need to tell that. So if you are referring the for a particular branch of the code, so we need to guide them that. So we have to replace the branch name. So generally we will refer the master branch. If any new code changes or new feature is applied, so we will apply the feature branches, develop branches like that. So just will guide them just to configure it and update the branch name here and re-trigger the job. All the configurations we have made it. Okay. So first time only when we are doing the first time the job, it will difficult to do it. So once it is configured, enter the project complications. So same job will be there for entire project completions. Okay. So this is the way we need to implement. Same thing if anything they are asked about that they are developing the Gradle means. So we need to check where we are running in Jenkins server we are running. So we need to check the Gradle version. Whether the Gradle is there or not. So if the Gradle is not there, we don't have the option to install Gradle. So in that cases, we have to set up the software in other ways. So what we need to do? So just Gradle download. Okay, so these are the packages. So these are the packages if you want to set for the Gradle. So if you want to set the Gradle version, there are many ways. So one is directly we can install install Gradle, but the Gradle is not supported. So we can go with alternative mechanism. We can download the software package. We can set the environment variables. Okay, so let us try with any one of the package. You can take it. Source.zip, bin.zip, anything you take it. All.zip. Docs not. So bin.zip. So already people know. Obligates. Just we downloaded the package bin.zip. So just we will unzip it. Okay. So we have downloaded this package and we have extracted this one. So just we are renaming it. Okay. So generally everything package, if you are taking Tomcat or anything, so generally it will be in the bin folder. Here we have. So these are the two files which help us to start your Gradle services. Okay. So now this is a path, we'll copy it and the ls-la. We'll go to the bash profile. Take any path. Okay, so slow. So just wherever your Gradle is there, so we can create one variable here. So if you don't want to define the bin also, directly we can remove the bin, and here we can set the bin. No problem. Okay, so in the path place, we are adding in the Gradle home, we are taking where it is, and slash bin, we are taking it. Just will save this file. And if you want to reflect this file, just will use the source, this file. Okay, so just will type the Gradle icon version. It is working fine. It's okay. Otherwise, something is gone wrong. Okay, so tomorrow I will show this Gradle related one. Okay, tomorrow we'll set up the new Gradle, and tomorrow we'll see about the Gradle build steps. Okay, how to build the Gradle project. Okay, any doubts, any questions in the Maven and I? Anybody, any questions? Any doubts? Nikita, Krishna, Brahmatij. Any doubts, any questions?
Sir, actually, I have a lot of confusion, but I'll go to the class session and we'll come tomorrow.
Okay, today you go this session, tomorrow you can ask the questions, okay? Because
Yes,
as you people are new to this project, right? So just we have seen the source code management, but how to work with the projects, you don't know. So just go through this today's recording so that you can understand a little bit more. So if you still have doubts, we'll discuss in the tomorrow class, okay?
sure, sir. Thank you.
Okay, guys, bye.